brand new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. In today's Day in Life review, we're going to try all the new camera features, the AI agent features, and also track the battery life throughout the day. And our day is going to start by opening up the box and getting a coffee. The device's design has changed a little bit this year. The edges are curved, but the sides are a little more flat. It honestly reminds me a lot of the Note series from a few years back. It looks super clean. S Pen in the bottom left. Crazy how little things come in the box now. A few years ago, you would get the entire cable and a brick. And now it feels like you get very, very minimal additional things. The display looks awesome. It's bigger this year, 6.9 inches over 6.8 inches, and that's because the bezel was reduced by 15%. Samsung and Google have partnered to bring many AI features to the phone. A lot of the AI features will then end up on other Google phones, but some of them are specific to Samsung, and we're gonna test those out today. So one of the brand new features of the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is the Now Brief. It says, a Now Brief gives you a personalized briefing with suggested content and actions throughout the day. Right now it's giving me the midday brief where we'll show you the weather, and then throughout the day, the brief will actually change. So once it notices my patterns of coffee shops that I like to go to or sports teams that I like to watch, this will update with different content specific to me. This speaks to the bigger theme of AI being integrated throughout the phone as like a personalized AI. And I think a lot of people are very sick of hearing about AI, but I actually feel like this year is going to be the biggest year in like supercharging innovation and a lot of highly useful features. And one of them is this ability for the phone to go into your emails and your interests and your search history and then give you personalized actionable results. But with that comes a deeper level of privacy being given away. Like the more personalized it gets, the more intrusive it gets. And I think the question that we're going to be dealing with as a culture and society is how much privacy are we willing to give away for convenience? But this is the first Android phone that's really showcasing what it could be. And Now Brief is pretty sick. A new feature this year that Samsung is introducing is log video. Ooh, look at all the settings that just appeared. ISO, audio levels, white balance, and turning on log, which for cinematographers and camera enthusiasts is normally like the go-to color profile to shoot stuff in. It makes everything more flat in camera, so when you're in the editor, you can enhance and bring back the colors. It gives you a lot more flexibility in post. Also, it is 2:35 p.m. and the phone is at 78%. Interestingly, this year with the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, they actually did not update a lot of the camera hardware. I feel like Samsung's really known for camera upgrades, but actually a lot of the upgrades this year were software-based outside of the upgrade to the ultra-wide lens. So one of the things that they've brought back is a virtual aperture. If you remember years past with the Samsung Galaxy S9, there was actually a hardware aperture that was variable, and then they got rid of that because adding a moving hardware component to a phone makes it more likely to break. It just adds elements to the production process. So that only lasted for a couple of years. This is the first year back with the variable aperture. I have not noticed a significant increase in performance. The S24 Ultra had an amazing camera. This feels like it does too, but there's not like an incredible camera upgrade like we've seen in years past. There are supposed to be a lot of upgrades to the night photography, so we'll test that when it gets a little bit darker out. It's 4:20 p.m. The phone is at 61% battery life. Samsung phones tend to take a couple of weeks to really optimize to your use, so I'm expecting the battery is going to get better over time. Another thing that they're optimizing is the cross-app action. So you can now ask Bixby/Gemini, when is Taylor Swift's next concert? And then can you add it to my calendar? So it will search on Google for when the next concert is and then add that date to your calendar. It doesn't work with 100% accuracy yet, but that's one of the ways that AI will probably get better. I think the most important thing to really test with the phone though when you're deciding are you going to spend $1,300 is how does it perform now? And performance in general is great. It's really quick. And there's the S Pen too, so you can quickly draw. But the S Pen actually got a downgrade this year. It no longer has Bluetooth, which means you can't do simple things like the gesture control. That's kind of a bummer. It is 4:35 p.m. The phone is at 59%. Waymo, which is like the self-driving autonomous driving, is huge in San Francisco. So I'm going to call one instead of an Uber so we can experience that. It's like one of the coolest things that this is so normalized in the city. It says your ride is booked, and outdoor visibility on the S25 Ultra, really good. See you in 4 minutes. The car will wait 2 minutes for you. It has my initials on it, and we're gonna pop in right now. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. This honestly feels like living in the future. Damn, this is sick. has a new feature called AI Select, which will detect what's on your screen and then change what AI option it offers based on that. So like, for example, if I'm on video or a photo, it may help me create a GIF, whereas if I'm drawing something, it makes suggestions around that. And what's also very interesting here is that you can actually go into the settings of this and change the degree to which it follows your sketch. So if I want it to be exactly what I'm drawing, I can make it follow it very precisely, or if I just want to kind of lay the groundwork of like drawing a dog, it can then run with it and create a beautiful image, which I kind of like because I'm not an artist, but I feel like if you are an artist, you wouldn't want it to completely change the type of art that you're drawing. Super steady mode right now, which should add some stabilization. It makes the camera quality a little worse, but it should make it more stable. It's completely blowing out the sky right now. And then this is super steady off. Instantly the dynamic range is like 1 trillion times better, but obviously a little bit more shaky. But I would still pick this footage over the super steady one. That was freaking amazing. And it's golden hour out. Unreal day. God, it's leaving by itself. So this is 1x, 2x, 3x. Damn, this is so stunning. 5x, 10x, 30x kind of starts to fall apart. 100x. So I feel like 100x is kind of a gimmick still because it just looks super bad, to be honest. But I guess if you're trying to see like something in the very far distance, it's nice, but I don't know, it's like really not very usable. Even the 30x is okay, but not great. But I could definitely make out those people, whereas it's very hard to see them from where we are. Little example of 10x coming in clutch right now. This is what it would look like if it was 1x. That dog is so freaking cute. Another new feature is in Pro Video mode. There's now zebra patterns, which helps you with exposure, and also false color, which will show you how properly exposed or underexposed or overexposed things are. Also, universally, the entire S25 lineup has fast refresh rate displays. A common criticism of the iPhone lineup is that the base model uses a 60 Hz display. 120 Hz means that everything looks a little bit faster, and that combined with a 37% increase in CPU performance means that the phone feels fast. And not only does it feel fast now, but it's gonna get 7 years of major Android software updates, which would put us at like Android 22, and so it should be fast for many years to come. It's 9:30 p.m. right now. The phone is at 43% battery life, and I'm in the gym getting in a quick little workout. Samsung has focused a lot on health this year, both like the fitness tracking on the phone and with the integration with their watch or their ring. But then also there's a huge focus on health more holistically. Like for example, the ability for the phone to analyze your sleep and then work with Samsung connected products like your thermostat or your lights to optimize them. So if it notices that you should go to bed, it may start dimming the lights. That type of cross-platform integration is really what differentiates this S25 Ultra over like previous phones, but it relies a lot on you being fully in the ecosystem. So like the more products you buy, the better and higher utility you'll get out of these features. They're also focusing on mental health this year. So throughout the day, they'll send in little check-ins to be like, how are you doing? And they'll try to link your different behaviors to how mentally good you're feeling, like, oh, doing X, Y, and Z thing like getting sunlight was actually really good for your overall happiness. It's very reminiscent to me of Whoop or Aura or any of the other fitness trackers that we've made a lot of videos on this channel. 10:05 p.m., the phone is at 40%. We're taking some night photos out here. Night mode is one of the areas that Samsung did improve, actually a lot on the software front. The photos look pretty good. Most of the time, I actually prefer just taking photos at night, not in the night mode, because night mode slows down the shutter speed, so while you get more light in, if there's like a moving object, it adds a lot of motion blur. It's nice to have the option you can turn it on and off, but most of the time, I just like the regular photo mode. This year was not a big upgrade year for the S lineup, but I think that speaks to how mature the phone lineup is. Like everything about it's really great. This phone often wins like the best Android phone of the year award from a lot of other YouTubers. It is personally one of my favorite phones as well. It is priced at a very high price point of $12.99. That makes it more expensive than the iPhone flagships, but I think it's really worth it when you factor in 7 years of upgrades if you like the most premium Android experience. And most people are not upgrading every year, they're upgrading every few years. So if you're coming from like the S22 or the S21, even the S23, you'll notice a lot of really great things here. Thank you so much for spending today with me. It was so exciting, and I will catch you hopefully in the next video.